So naturally, this is happening in India, and that's I think we feel very much proud that you can recall the Madhya Pradesh, especially the Bhopal. So I think that's good for us.
Yeah, I know. So is my picture to you
Yeah,
is visible good?
yeah, it is visible, just a kind of blurred, little bit blurred. I think that may be due to the light issue. I think otherwise it is very much
No,
visible.
looks like I have enough light. Hang on a sec. What about now?
Better,
Too much bright?
better, better. But I think the brightness is behind, so I think that
Too
I think
much bright?
yeah, it is. I think previous was better because
Yeah, that's what I thought
light
of
is
it.
in behind of you.
That's true. That's true. Because in my office in the
Yeah,
night,
I can understand. I can understand. So, very good morning, dear all participants. I would like to welcome Professor M.S. Reddy for this webinar. Actually, I'm going to play a video for the 3 minutes, then we will formally inaugurate for today's webinar. Very good morning, dear all participants. This is Professor Dr. Chandkan Sharma, Professor and Head of Institute of Agriculture Sciences, Sage University, Indore, MP, Madhya Pradesh. Today, we are lucky enough, it's our privilege that Professor M.S. Reddy is with us. And I think everyone is aware today is the World Environment Day, and it's a kind of occasion where we celebrate the things which the nature has been given to us. On this auspicious occasion, I would like to welcome Professor M.S. Reddy in this webinar. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Professor M.S. Reddy has done his PhD in biological sciences, plant pathology and biological control, Center for Pest Management, Salmon Fisher University, British Columbia, Canada. Earlier, he has done his MSc in botany with the plant pathology as major, aerobiology from the Andhra University, Valchar, India in 1977. Before that, he has done the BSc in biological sciences from Andhra University in 1975. He's having vast experience of the teaching and research, almost 40 years of teaching and research. And earlier he has been the part of, and presently he's the part of uh, Auburn University, Alabama, USA, being the professor of Department of Entomology and Plant Pathology. Earlier, he has been on the various positions in the different institutes. He has been awarded with the different honors and fellowships, like in 2008, Young Small Business Entrepreneur of the Year, awarded by the Mr. George Bush, President of USA. And that's a kind of matter of pride for all of us that such personality is with us. And he has been the member of the panelist and the different panel members in our Indian ICR, DBT, DST, and UGC of India. He has been the panel member in 2010, 2009 Organic Agriculture Research and Extension Initiative by the USDA. He has been the reviewer as well as the member of the different boards in the different journals, as well as he has published various research papers in the form of research papers, review papers, as well as he has published different books in the different aspects, on the different aspects. He has published such research papers with the national and international reputes, as well as he is associated with the different kind of the scientific and professional activities. He is the founding chairman of Asian PGPR Congress, as well as the board member of first Asian PGPR Congress, which was held in India 2009. The list is never ending, and I think the time will limit us. And with these words, I would like to welcome again Professor M.S. Reddy to deliver his talk. Please, sir. Professor Reddy.
You need to allow me share my screen.
Yeah, yes, I can. Yes. No. So you can share now.
Okay.
Sorry for interrupting you. The SAGE University is in MP, located at Indore. We are catering the need of the society by imparting the education to the students. We provide the education in the different streams also. So we are the one of the best in the middle past. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Your screen
So,
is visible. Yeah.
huh?
Screen is visible.
Oh, screen is visible. Hang on one sec. I need to get my, one sec.
No problem. No problem.
My other screen is unable to come here. Hmm. I don't know. Again, one sec. So you see the screen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
In a PowerPoint presentation.
Yes, yes.
So, hmm. let me redo it again, sir.
No problem, no problem. No.
Right. So you see this. Good morning, Professor Sharma ji, and good morning all the participants in India and maybe outside India. I saw few of my friends from Indonesia join today,
Yeah.
and colleagues and friends and students across India. Very good morning. It's the
Good.
middle of the night for us here. And it is my privilege and an honor to give a small presentation on commercialization of biofertilizers and biofungicides and the regulatory constraints what these biofertilizers, biofungicides may have worldwide, not only India. I'm talking about majority from the United States, European continent, and South American continent. I'll touch basically during my talk about India too. So I'm honored to here to show your logo, sir. The Sage University Indore, located in Indore, Bhopal of Madhya Pradesh. My interest actually to accept this invitation because we will be organizing our India National Conference, hoping sometime this year, if not possible, next year, hoping we have not decided yet. I'm coming back to Bhopal if that thing happens. So that's the only reason I have accepted this invitation today to give my brief presentation. I am from the United States. Of course, I'm born and raised in India. I have to salute both the national flags. And I work for Auburn University. I have to salute my university. And we have a society called Asian PGPR Society. With all these blessings, I'm here in the United States. I'm talking about sustainable agriculture and the role of biofertilizers, biofungicides. I think that Sharma ji mentioned briefly, elaborately about me, but I would like to show my experience, my education, what I'm doing, where I am, etc. for the
Sure.
last 40 years or so.
Sure.
I did my master's in Andhra University, Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. Then I joined an assistant professor for 3 to 4 years in a degree college in Andhra Pradesh. Well, after that, I joined for a year and a half at ICRISAT, International Crops Research Institute for Semi-Arid Tropics, located in Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh. That time, Andhra Pradesh, but now in Telangana. After that, I took a Commonwealth scholarship to come to Canada. The state is British Columbia. The university is called Simon Fraser University. And I did there in integrated pest management. So I have to salute my Canadian flag because I'm also a Canadian citizen. So I have to show that flag. After that PhD, then I did a postdocing at the University of Toronto, one of the largest and famous university in Canada. So this is the University of Toronto logo. Then in Canada, I took several industrial jobs within Canada, biotech company called LLX. Then I joined a oil company, one of the largest petroleum company in the world called Exxon, or in India, you may have heard Esso, Imperial Oil. But in the United States, we call Exxon. In Canada, they call Imperial Oil or Esso. Then Esso sold to a fertilizer company called Cominco. Then Cominco sold to Agrium, American-based company, fertilizer company. At that time, I decided is enough with the industrial experience. Having this many years, I took a professor job at Auburn University in the United States, located in Auburn, Alabama, just 100 miles south of Atlanta. So now I am an American citizen and also a Canadian citizen, so dual citizenship. Unfortunately, I have lost my Indian citizenship, but I have a permanent visa kind of stuff to come anytime I want to India, not only me, my family too. Having this academic research, industrial research, and we have started, I founded a society called Asian PGPR Society. And this is a website. Then during this, my academic career, right now I have so many countries, collaborations going on. With this, I think almost 300 some papers we published in international journals, mostly international journals, of course, American journals too. Several book chapters, several books, lot of academic stuff. This is my personal website, drmsreddy.com. Having this as a hobby, because I work in industries, I have my own company in the United States called auburnventures.com. This is nothing to do with our biological sciences, nothing to do with the PGPR, nothing to do with plant pathology. Mostly, I own several petroleum gas stations like Reliance stores in India, several beer stores, wine stores, liquor stores, shopping centers, whatnot. We have a big venture I have here in Alabama state. Having those academically and industrially and now a business entrepreneurial experience, my folks, these are my family, their blessing, I'm here today. This is my lovely wife, my lovely daughter and 2 grandkids from her. She's a physician, MD, internal medicine. And my son is an attorney, his wife is an attorney. They have a little kid, very lovely Dolly. So this is my close family in the United States. Here is a group picture of us. Of course, my father-in-law and mother-in-law, they're 80 plus. They live in Hyderabad because we have a house in Hyderabad still.
Sir, actually, we are not able to see your screen.
You're not able to see?
Because you have removed the sharing screen, share of screen. So please.
Oh, let me stop it. Sorry, hang on.
Earlier you were thinking
I thought of you guys. I thought of you had it.
I thought you were just speaking only.
Uh-oh, hang on. Can you see?
Yeah, now.
I think I already explained my first slide, right?
Yeah,
Again, so you heard that. This is the stuff I just showed.
Yes.
And I also explained briefly about my background, my experience, my education, my research.
Yes. Now we can see
and
the slides.
you see all the slides.
Yeah.
and I'm mostly interested right now in my personal business ventures here.
Yeah.
And for all my success, I think my wife and my children's behind me. So I love to show all
Yeah.
those pictures, including my grandkids. So today presentation briefly. So we'll give you some introduction, the overview of biofertilizers and biofungicides, the limiting factors and threats for these products, and the role of Asian PGPR society, future development of biofertilizers, biofungicides, or we may call PGPR for crop protection or sustainable agriculture. Your brief remark at the end.
Yeah.
Today we have billion people globally, 7 billion. The 7 billion population, there are 1.7 billion work in the government services or private industries, 1.4 billion working in agriculture. So now our interest is in agriculture, 1.4 billion people. And among the 7 billion, 800 million industrial jobs, 577 million almost senior citizens, 430 million are unemployed. Business people, 400. I'm one small guy in the business sector. And the ages, young kids, 1.9 billion. So the 1.9 billion to 1.7 billion are more or less equal, working and their children, non-working children. So for a year 2050, according to FAO estimates, so this population will be almost 9.8, almost 10 billion, a lot of population. So we need to feed all this population by producing healthy food. But the growth is very low. So we need to improve our agricultural productivity, and we need a lot of money to put it in. Almost $100 billion we needed to improve our agricultural production. So how 10 billion by 2050? What do we have to do? Because of the agriculture is facing several abiotic factors. With those factors, biotic or abiotic factors, we're losing a lot of crop yield, harvest losses on several crops. You see the marks percentage of yield loss by abiotic stresses and biotic stresses. Having losing that, we need to feed the hunger people by producing healthy food. Now in the global way, many people are looking for food grains. Of course, they're looking also already cooked food, even a few items of food shared the whole family. So we need to take care of these people to feed, to end the hunger. We're coming back to the agriculture or sustainable agriculture. What we do as scientists, we're looking at healthy soils for a healthy life. If the soil is not healthy, we cannot produce a healthy plant. If the healthy plant means a crop, maybe horticultural, agricultural, or forestry, whatever crop may be, if this soil is not healthy, this plant may not be healthy, or this plant produces whatever the crop and consumed by a human being, it may not be healthy. So we need to have a sustainable soil management for healthy soils and healthy food and healthy people. That is our main motto. To keep the soil healthy, we have to look into soil macronutrients, soil micronutrients, and we have to increase organic matter, minimize tillage, keep soil surface covered, reduce the erosion, and we may want to make sure we follow crop rotations. So there are several factors. We need to look into that. I'm not going to each and every aspect here because it takes a long time. I have several slides. This is a schematic diagram, how the healthy soil, to make healthy soil to be healthy, we need to concern of all these things below the ground. The major constraint for any plant, abiotic stress or soil salinity is a major constraint. You see, and other factors, all abiotic, the light, temperature, drought, salinity I just mentioned, mechanical damage, air pollution or cold temperature, all these factors affecting the plant to grow, particularly in the arid and the semi-arid tropics. We take care of those things by way of different kind of management practices. So what are those management practices? It may be a cultural management, disease management, soil health management, pest management, nutrition management, crop health management. So we need to at least manage whatever capacity we have to give us a good yield and the quality food. Now I mentioned the soil has to be healthy. From now on, I may be using a term rhizosphere of healthy soil below the ground, below the ground. In the soil, there are so many microbes. Some of the good microbes, some are bad microbes, some are ugly, so deleterious microbes. So we're more interested in the good ones. The bad one causes several diseases. The ugly ones causes food contamination. The good ones might do these kind of growth development, nutrient acquisition, protection against disease pathogens, and you may provide immune response and also protect from abiotic stresses and improve the physiology of the plant. Among those good ones, again, there are several categories. We may call microbials. Under microbials, there are good viruses, good bacteria, good fungi. Macrobials, the big ones, predatory mites, maybe insects, maybe nematodes, semi-chemicals, pheromones, plant volatiles, and the natural and biochemical products such as plant extract, seaweed product, basic chemical substances. Now, my main interest is the PGPR. PGPR is generally a term called plant growth promoting rhizobacteria. But in a broader sense, all biofertilizers, biofungicides, biostimulants, bioherbicides, bioinsecticide, or biosolution, they'll all come under category of this. We coined long time ago this name, PGPR. It doesn't mean just bacteria. They're all, right now we're talking about the biofertilizers and biofungicides. If this is a definition, the good PGPR enhance, fix nitrogen, mobilize phosphorus, etc. in the soil and increase the growth. That's what we call PGPR. And biofungicide, they produce, such as fungi, bacteria, or maybe actinomycete, they may produce anti-metabolites to suppress or control plant diseases. These PGPR, this is a small example you put on as a seed treatment, and those bacterial cells will colonize developing root system and developing a rhizosphere and a bigger root system. If it colonizes, if it does what it's supposed to do, maintaining its population, the growing shoot system should be healthy and improve growth and ultimately gives a good yield, which we believe in. This is another, say if I applied PGPR good ones, you may control, colonize this rhizosphere here. It may fight against many plant diseases, soil-borne diseases, maybe other diseases, depends what kind mode of action. These PGPR may be directly improving the plant growth promotion by producing siderophores or ammonia production, fixing nitrogen, solubilizing phosphate, producing several types of hormones. Indirectly, you may produce several lighting enzymes. You may act as an inducer of systemic resistance, and you may produce several anti-metabolites by antibiotics, may suppress the pathogens and some oxidation management too. So this few of this PGPR, the beneficial microbes have this kind of mode of action. This is a basic slide. Any undergraduate don't know how to isolate good PGPR from rhizosphere, from rhizoplane, or from endobiotic, get them out, good colonies, and purify them and identify them and test them. You can store them at minus 70 degrees Celsius in the freezer for a long time for any research. I think this is more or less same slide, but just basically azospirillum, phosphobacteria, rhizobium, azotobacter. See how this nitrogen-fixing bacteria in the soil root ecosystem on a legume plant will enhance the nodulation. If it enhances the nodulation, obviously will give a good shoot system, good yield. There is now you call it maybe a biofertilizer, or for example, phosphobacteria, azospirillum, rhizobium, all these kind of stuff, we call them biofertilizers. This is a complex. We have, many scientists around the globe, many scientists in India done a lot of research below the soil, above the soil, but below the soil again, there is the rhizosphere, mycorrhizosphere. If you see a mycorrhizosphere, is a complex. Again, the root system on one side, root is one, and within the root rhizosphere, within that again, soil, non-rhizosphere soil. And again, root system has the root hairs, and it produces a lot of compounds, any growing root exudates. If we have a good PGPR here in this system, it's supposed to do all this kind of diffusion, absorption, solubilization, mineralization. It may be a mycorrhizal fungi, maybe a PGPR, maybe a nitrogen-fixing bacteria, or maybe a trichoderma. If those good ones will take care of some of these actions and give the good root system here, obviously have a good shoot system. There's a lot of information, but it is basically to understand. It's a lot of information. I think I already showed this PGPR's direct mechanisms and indirect mechanisms. And if you put this global effects, I call them global effects, maybe a nitrogen fixing, phytohormone producers, phosphate solubilizers, or DAPG producers. These all working like a complex to fight against abiotic factors or biotic factors such as causing any pathogen diseases. It may be insect diseases and nematode diseases. So these PGPR, by doing this kind of global effect on a plant, the plant should be hopefully healthy. So having those background, so if we want to develop a commercial product, there are so many obstacles, so many problems, we need to look into it. There are several barriers. So if I have a good PGPR, good biofertilizer, or a trichoderma, or a bacillus, or a pseudomonas, we need to work out, for example, here showing a rhizobium. We need to work out the host specificity, what kind of host that particular PGPR biofertilizer will act on it. It just a living cells may not is difficult to apply. You need a carrier, a formulation with them. Then how long that PGPR biofertilizer can survive, we call shelf life. We need to maintain at least for a year. And these are all a lot of technology. If one scientist is unable to do all this kind, we need an industry collaboration. If you work out a technology, then we would like to introduce in the farmer's field. Sometimes it may work, sometimes it does not work because you may losing shelf life. This thing is non-specific to a host. Competition from other deleterious microflora and soil conditions, abiotic factors. There's so many things we need to work out before we release a product to the farmer's field. If you see these things from agrobacterium to viral, fungi, or parasitoid predators, maybe a microbial, genetically modified. Finally, you say we may call biopesticide or biofungicide or a synthetic product. So the schematic way several scientists around the globe worked out, if we take their knowledge, their research, we can implement in the system some of those technology development, we think we may have a good product. Again, I mentioned a carrier, a formulation. What kind of formulation we need for a biofertilizer or biofungicide? Maybe a liquid culture, maybe a dry culture. It may be on an agar plate, or that agar plate may be dried. Without having anything in them, if you throw a formulation carrier, it may be organic, inorganic, or a polymeric. For example, it may be a peat, compost, animal waste, industrial waste, mineral clay, talc powder, facial powder, perlite, vermiculite, alginate, modified starch, or chitosan. There are several other things too. I just took some because I used it with my own in my own research. Now, with having fundamentals, some theoretical, applied research, technology, and finally introducing the farmers' fields, one product, when I was in Canada, we developed one product called FTG, Free to Grow, trade market. This particular product is beneficial for forestry plant, forestry industry. This product can be used as a seed treatment mechanically in a small nursery with the equipment, and the larger nurseries with the bigger equipment, and outdoors reforestation. Again, reforestation, there's two kinds, bare root and container sealing. This product is a liquid formulation. With having all this equipment, tested compatibilities, set to this kind of treatments, finally we have collected, I spent 10 years on this product and got approval from the United States and Canada, a joint registration under North American Free Trade Agreement. We submitted several thousands of pages from my group. So I'm a lot of people. We spent the $5 to $10 million research to get one product out, because that time Exxon International is a big company. They funded us internally. That's my first product within Canada, and also first ever product, joint registration between the United States and Canada under my direction. Then Then I moved back to United States from industry to the academic at Auburn University. We developed a optimized lift is LCO promoter technology. Optimized lift LCO promoter technology is it's not a PGPR, a byproduct. You can apply it on peanuts. We applied on a peanuts as a powder, and we done several field trials all across the United States on peanuts. What our farmers, United States farmers, use mechanized. This particular product, that's what we call is lifting. It gives a good nodulation, good parts, of course, nitrogen fixing, all kind of growth promotion, protect the soil-borne diseases and foliar diseases. We see a tremendous enhancement of the yields. And at the same time, we also tested different modified version of the LCO promoter technology for cotton. That's what we call the Bolt trademark for cotton. Again, we tested across the United States. This particular product gives a good enhancement of the growth and yield and controls several insect diseases and fungal diseases. And one company at that time, EMD Crop Bioscience, located in Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin, commercialized this product and still massively. Now I think this company bought by a different company, and they're marketing under these trade names. All this research came from my own laboratory in Auburn University, United States. With the collaboration with South Korean scientists working in our lab, in my lab, we developed called EXTN1. Is a bacteria, and we worked both in the United States and South Korea with several formulations, these kind of formulations of this product. We tested on several crops, both in the United States and South Korea, soybeans, peanuts, and tomato, and wheat, and rice, and many crops for growth promotion and soil-borne disease control such as Rhizoctonia solani, Fusarium, Pythium, etc. pathogens. Now this particular product is trademarked in different commercial names and commercialized by the South Korean, one of the largest chemical company in all over Asia. Put together, while I was in Canada and free to grow stage, and also we developed in Canada several rhizobium inoculants. I developed the rhizobium inoculant as a liquid formulation for peas and chickpeas and all kind of legumes. Previously was all peat inoculum. So I modified these same rhizobiums into liquid. Is one of the best product. Now they're selling all over in the United States, South America, Canada, for all the legume crops. I don't have any control because I've done research and I gave them the rights to them. And also we worked out with several American companies, tested their product, serenades, two kinds of serenades, Sonata, and other PGPRs. So just a few examples. I worked out in my lab to help the industry, to help the farmers, to show some of those traded marks. I borrowed this slide from our famous scientist from Calicut, Dr. Anandaraj. I love this capsule technology for PGPR, capsule technology. I think this is one of the topmost technology there. I think they're commercializing. They have a lot of MOEs within India. Unfortunately, Dr. Anandaraj got sick due to some problems in his heart. He's recovering. I hope someday would like to see him as a scientist very soon, I hope. So he lended me a slide, this slide in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. He told me one of the beautiful technology they developed for this. I think many people also this kind of technology and MOUs. Again, Anand, there are slides, and they worked out several PGPRs and several spices, treating them each is, as a seed treatment. I visited Calicut, their research labs, several times. I saw their research, one of the best research I see on these spices, coriander, cumin, fenugreek, for enhancement of the germination and ultimately growth and yield responses. Now, having said the PGPR, it may be biofertilizers, biofungicides, and we thought of it to promote these technologies throughout the world, and this particularly for Asian countries. That's what we call the Asian PGPR Society for Sustainable Agriculture. This is our website, asianpgpr.com. This society established with our fellow friends from India and fellow friends originally from India. In 2009, I was sitting, Dr. K.R. Kreddy sitting in the audience. He is one of the pioneers to help us to start this society. And we have registered the United States, now we call it head office and regional office in India. We have almost 1,500 life members from Asian countries, also from other countries globally, and still growing. So the members anywhere from student to farmer to scientist to professor to the industry, several diverse membership. They may be multinationals, and our main motto is to develop, to broadcast and to promote this PGPR for organic or biocontrol, IPM, for sustainable agriculture, horticulture, or forestry, silviculture, or many things with this society through various various objectives we have. This society also we're talking with the many regulations, regulated bodies, and other interest group members, mostly biologically based crop protection. We would like to promote the biocontrol product, maybe a biofertilizer, biofungicide, particularly Asia. Our focus Asia, because my interest and our executive body interest, we all belong, particularly me, belong to India. So my interest is definitely in Asian countries. So with the Asian focus, but we get a global network because we have global issues. We would like to develop this technology, diversify this technology. And also we have outreach activities, what we do with this society. We look for global outlook. We have sometimes we talk with them and collaborate with them. Some funding from WHO, FAO, lobbying with the various regulated bodies. Some local people, Indian people, they have their own chapters. They do there. We do United States, Canada, European. We go to Uzbekistan. At least myself, I lobby the regulated bodies within Asian countries. And we organize conferences, the NGO, help NGOs, linkage with several industries. And we're looking entire food chain, several food chains. We want to strengthen our activities, and we would help educational research training, and we massively produce publications through the society and mobilize our information through several media too. That's our objectives of our society. Why this society started came to our mind. My mentor, my colleague, is a professor right now at my university in my department. I call him father of PGPR. This man has coined this name, PGPR, Dr. J.W. Klopper, and is still active researcher. we worked together in India, in Canada, in that first industrial company called LLX. There we met each other. I stayed with him. We worked together, I think, 3 years. Then he left the company, joined Auburn University, came back to the United States because he is an American. So he came back and joined the head of the department in my department. He is right now a professor. So at that time, we thought, let's this PGPR science to be globally delivered or globally educated. So we decided, let's have our conference. Well, at that time I was in Toronto, Canada, 1987. We started the first PGPR international workshop. We call that time workshop. It's not like a conference, just giving talks, posters, just a one-on-one discussion, group discussion. That's what we call workshops. So the first one we started, I think this is the first group we gathered from several countries in Ontario, 1987. Beautiful, best meeting we ever had on this particular subject, PGPR. Then after that, him and I decided, let's move every continent every 3 years. The next, after 3 years, we had a workshop in Switzerland, then Australia, then Japan, then Argentina. I brought the whole group to India, Kerala. Then we went to Netherlands, again back to United States, and Colombia, South America. We also went to Europe, Belgium. I could not go to that meeting. And I could not go to this meeting either, Canada, because I'm more busier with our Asian PGPR. I don't care anymore this global workshop. This group is not that active. They don't have a website. Once in a while, they meet every 3 years and become very expensive. They charge $700, $800, $900 registration fees, flying expenses, 5 days hotels, all kind of stuff. Anyway, with him, with the several groups, I'll show those some of those our extended family pictures later. I think we travel entire continent except Africa and the Russian continent. With those two continents, except those two continents, up to that time, I was active with these workshops, we travel entire globe. Now I'm not anymore that much interested, crazy about that international PGPR workshop. Now my colleague Dr. Klopper and I decided, Klopper said, he will take care of the Latin America because he learned Spanish. I don't want to learn it. I don't know the Spanish. I don't want to learn it, period. I rather learn Hindi than Spanish. So I decided, hey, let me take to Asian countries. We decided, because there's no conflict between him and me, we still have friends and good buddies, and publish jointly, help industry jointly. So that's why we decided Asian PGPR Society for Sustainable Agriculture 2009. We have registered. Care Credit did for this registration for us in Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh. In Hyderabad, at that time we had our first Asian PGPR International Conference in Acharya Ranga, NG Ranga Agriculture University, Hyderabad. Then after that, we decided, our executive body at that time decided, let's have every 2 years, rotating in each Asian country. From Hyderabad, after 2 years, we went to Beijing, then Philippines, then Vietnam, then Indonesia, then last year, Tashkent, Uzbekistan. My particular interest, Tashkent, because our ex-Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri monument in Tashkent. I went first time to see the, along with the Dr. K.R. Reddy and his wife, myself and my wife went there, saw, hey, we have to have a conference. At least our Indian folks see, because we haven't seen him when he was alive. At least we can see his monument. Thus is our interest to have this conference. But wonderful, wonderful conference from Tuscan local organizers. Our next meeting, tentatively scheduled to have next August 2024, Malaysia. We're working on it, but now this COVID, this viral stuff, we do not know whether we can have in 2021. We're thinking of postponing a year to 2022, but we have not decided yet. But the local organizers, I'll show you in the next slide. And my colleague, Dr. Klopper, he had a few, I think his activity is going down. He's not having any conferences in Latin America anymore. I mentioned our extended family. Our first group, the best conference ever had on Dr. K.R. Reddy and his friends and our buddies. I have to say here, salute our Dr. Sharmaji. He's not no more with us. He is in the heaven. He is the president of HNPGPR Society. Under his leadership, and Dr. K.R. Reddy leadership is sitting in the audience. I mean, he's watching through webinar from Hyderabad, home-based. And several of colleagues, Dr. Desai, several, and Vice Chancellor at that time. Anyway, so it's hard to remember. I mean, I have to say many names. The best conference, 3 days, free food, free breakfast, free lunch, free dinners. Of course, the minimum registration fee. And this is the second extended family in Beijing. Majority of these meetings attended by our Indian colleagues, Indian friends. Then the Manila, Philippines, again, Indian colleagues and Chinese, Filipinos, and several. Every year, our strength is going up. From, I think, I mean, India is the maximum, the China is the big, and Philippines is also big. I mean, it's growing, you see the pictures. And Vietnam, again, another best meeting we ever had in Hanoi, Vietnam. And I think Dr. Anthony is also watching today this seminar from Bogor, Indonesia. He was the chairperson for this conference. Again, the best. And the last year, Tashkent is a wonderful, both Acha, both Sundar Hayo conference is an excellent one. My colleague, Dr. Dilfuza, famous lady, young lady, I mean, is a global lady. A lot of people know her globally, particularly in Asian countries. She is right now in Finland, enjoying her COVID. She is in Finland with her daughters. So she's not there in Tashkent. She's in the European country. She's a citizen down there. So next, hopefully my friends, I'll show you a slide. Next one. Before this 2021 Malaysia, Professor Anil Prakash is there in the watching this conference. Professor Anil Prakash is the local organizing chairman. Here is a small picture of him. Professor Anil Prakash is going to organize India National Conference, Asian PGPR under India chapter. And the India chapter executive members here, the president, Dr. Syed, Riyaz Syed, and vice president, Dr. Singh ji, Naveen Arora ji, Singh, and Dr. Singh. We use Amrita and Sundari, Professor Sundari, and the secretary of Bhopal under. Why we only use a few? Because some of previous organizers in India. There's no other thing, because this thing organized, Amrita organized. She is helping us. So I have several questions asked. Voice are only few fixes. Unfortunately, lack of space under the guidance of Professor Anil Prakash. Of course, his patron, I think, is University, Barkatullah University, Vice Chancellor Dr. Rao. Seems to be the Andhra Pradesh. He's from Andhra Pradesh, but I have not met him. We will, but we are not sure we're going to have this meeting. So we don't know yet. So in a month from now, we may decide we'll postpone this meeting. I am not sure yet. We're working on it. Please We will communicate, not me, at least Professor Anil Prakash, our chairman SAP, is going to communicate you all through his website, through his brochure, whatnot.
Yeah.
But I'm responsible, at least outside, with Professor Wong. He's a famous professor in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, from University of Putra, Malaysia. She's our local organizing chairman, and she did her PhD from the United States. I think she visited Dr. K.R. Reddy a few months ago in Hyderabad while visiting Tamil Nadu, I believe. And again, a friend of ours from India did his PhD in Chennai under Punnu Murugan. Now he's working in Malaysia. He's our coordinator for this conference. But again, we do not know. We do not know whether we have this, but we will let you know in a days ahead. But what having these all conferences and workshops, we publish all these proceedings, good talks, papers, and posters in a special journals or books, proceedings. We have several contracts with several good publishers. So if you come there, obviously your paper will be published. You will get a credit for it. I'm just showing those previous conference things. It's not only Asian PGPR. Wherever I go, wherever we go, wherever we organize, each country, they're mostly fascinated. They would like to have their own chapter. Of course, our India chapter. The next one, the next chapter started in Sri Lanka. I visited Sri Lanka. Then I visited Saudi Arabia. I visited, but not those guys would like to have a Turkey chapter. Not done yet. They're interested. Pakistan, they're very active. They have website, Facebook, and Malaysia, they're working on it. Indonesia, Dr. Anton still is working on it. Uzbekistan, so far 8 chapters. That's good for this society. Now, come back some fancy science. We need a greener revolution in our sustainable agriculture. That greener revolution has to be innovated for the sustainable agriculture to feed the 70 billion population or growing population. So we need globally. So my buzzword right now, I know, greener revolution. I may say greener in a way, bio inputs revolution has to come in play. We all know traditional plant breeding, mycology, plant pathology, all kind of basic fundamental subjects. Everybody knows the conventional plant breeding, but there is a revolution coming in plant breeding with these kind of buzz technologies, phenomics, precise trait description, genomics, and protein interaction, proteomics, metabolomics, mRNA, and imaging technology, all have to incorporate these in the traditional plant breeding. This plant breeding subject has to be revolutionized. So a lot of scientists working on that. They have good results. Many people getting some product. Will show you shortly. Syngenta, a company, already have their product, a specific speed breeding technology rather. They're implementing, many people following this. I think they're going to release several of the new products through plant breeding way using new technology. Another one, of course, you know, the CRISPR. This is another new technology. We need this new technology to revolutionize our sustainable agriculture. You know, other than GMO, I rather have this CRISPR technology. I think many people right now, they're very close. Some of them, as they said, they got commercialized, but I have not seen their products yet. This is the neat technology. Several companies I'm working with and as a consultant and collaborations, the original, our agriculture, you see these bullock carts, horses, buffaloes, whatnot, and the 19th century agriculture, plowing. Then 1980s agriculture is all, some of them at least in modern countries, developed kind of modern machinery or GPS tracking. Until now, still is a fast technology. So this fast technology is moving into a future technology. Right now we're here. Not only a scientist, our farmers really confused. Whether go back to old technology, implement available current technologies, whether he can afford, is I think we call a confused farmer. So we need to help. So the future from here is still going very slowly. We need to have the new technologies, weather stations, weather forecasts, plant sensors, UV with the sensor payloads. I mean, everything, data insight, all you could control your agricultural field sitting at home, just like we're watching web seminars sitting at home. That's the new, let's see what, this another one, some people working, I think, borrowed this slide from this website. This is a farmer. Now this new technology, I think Reliance Geo, now collaborating with the Facebook and Tata and other people. Just last month, I had a interaction with the Reliance Group people. And I think they're moving into this direction, develop. Of course, Equistad is working, many other people working, but of course, Reliance is the top guys to put in their money. They would like to develop. We would like to see yield estimation by this technology and how much my yield will get a price. But we have market data. It will give us the market where we can sell this product, weather data, where to store, warehouse data, fertilizer, who is the fertilizer guy supplying, seed provider, labor, where we can get labor, and who is going to buy through marketing agencies. Of course, where do we get funding? From banks. Banks has to give, not only government. All this sensor data, crop data, all this, so these logistics, man, all on a cell phone. Then we control growing crop, the pests and the remedies and the yield and get the revenue to the farmer. I'm hoping we're very near for that. Having that technology, I love this. Our Modi ji, I salute the one of the dynamic Prime Minister of India and a global leader for the developing nation of our India is calling, give the women power, the women empowerment. Without women, and neither agriculture nor any other industry will prosper globally. So these I have to gather. You see, Saudi kings and WHO, FAO director and Bill Gates wives and several big people promoting this technology. Empower women, particularly rural women. MS Swaminathan slogan from Madras. Give the power to the rural woman to end the hunger. But again, buzzwords, has to be highly profitable with a zero budget farming, natural farming. Some people may not agree, still we need a lot of info. Zero budget, natural farming, I believe in it. Of course, we need to work. Ultimately, hey, whether you still have to do it, get all these approaches together. Encourage the women. Whatever tradition they do, maybe nail beautification, selling the food, or whatever. So we need to encourage the women, and obviously women and maybe men may be a farmer, women may be a farmer. we ultimately need a chemical-free food production by these ZBNF, hoping this will work. Just come back to the market potential. The market for potential for this biological fertilizer, biofungicide, or biostimulant, bioact solution, whatever it may be, because the chemical usage in the global is going down, and our uses of biofertilizer, biofungicides is increasing over the years. Particularly these PGPRs also going from 2012 to 2022. I think skyrocketing. World scenario. In the world, Europe is the first to use these biofungicide, biofertilizers better than any. And Europe is followed by Asian continent, particularly India and China, then South America. Here in the United States, they're very, very slow. A very small market right now in the United States, Canada, but now major chemical company in the United States jumping into these biofertilizers and calling a buzzword called organic farming. Now, at least I know of, at least I work with some of them. These are the key market players for biofertilizers and biofungicides. Novozymes, our friends, the Steve Staines company in India, Phytopharma, Internet Panacea, Can Bias, Kiva Biotech, you can say Madras Fertilizers, Gujarat Fertilizers, Gujarat State Fertilizers, and some of these, and I know some of Warsaw, and now Care Credit has bioaesthetic new company, and Agrinos, because I put at least, I have friends in these companies. There are so many other companies. So there's no partiality. But they're major players though. All these guys, of course, I mentioned regulatory constraints. Now, crop protection is constantly changing due to political influences. Every country, the political influence on our scientific and technological innovations. And of course, but we have a demand for safe plant production methods and products. We need to promote this. So these regulatory constraints, unless we all unite together, we have to tell the local governments. Just a small, the market will be reaching anywhere several billion, $10 billion by 2030, 2050. We saw only 2 billion 2014, is growing annually about 20%. Worldwide, according to my knowledge, including China and India, excluding China and India, approximately 230 biopesticide manufacturing companies right now. Europe alone, 91. In the United States, 98. Biocontrol labs, biocontrol producing industries, roughly 52. I'm talking about famous ones. And other microbes, 171. Biopesticide macros. How many organisms right now? More than 230. And micros, those are macros. Micros or semis or natural products, more than 450 actives, and there are more than 2,300 their derivatives, byproducts. This status always changes. In a broader context, we have to put force behind the macro environmental factors and intergovernmental, governmental policy guys, and we have to influence the legislation. So we all need to work as external factors to influence or promote these biofertilizers and biofungicides through IPM management practices. We need to have some promotional, of course, we need to media has to influence our technology. But the scientific technological trends, he has to be new one, but some of them going, I mean, we need new ideas and the results. It may be microorganisms, new formulation, or it may be genetically improved. I'm not that favorable on genetically improved yet, and GM insects. So we need to have some new technology. Yes, still, of course, regulation. Here, I want to say only one thing. Every country has their own regulation. My experience, biofertilizers don't need that big regulations. I do not know our Indian circumstances. They're changing and drafts I'm not sure. I just saw a few minutes ago, locust. One ex-director written a letter to Prime Minister of India, sir, the guy sitting in the director is a non-agriculturist to help that this agriculture sector to control locusts. How a non-agricultural scientist can do anything on locusts? Let's see what the Prime Minister will respond. But anyway, every country has their own regulations. I'm not going into that much. In my idea, with my experience, you convince. If I have a product, Bacillus as a PGPR, I can get registered in 90 days in the United States, in Canada, and also in Europe. When you mention it is a biopesticide, then there is a problem comes. Where European Commission is very good, American regulated body is very good, Canadian is very good. Not know our India regulatory system, but we need a body to negotiate. If I have a similar bacillus, strain may be different. As long as I have a massive data for that bacillus strain, toxicological and efficacious data and all, but take these documents and submit to the government of India. You may test one or two if you claim as a biopesticide. Generally, I never claim anything under biopesticide. Every PGPR does biocontrol activity. Don't show on the paper. Let farmers figure it out. In the United States, we do not need any efficacy data for any biological, any biopesticide, any PGPR, because it is the responsibility of the industry to sell that product. How they sell? If the farmer sees the efficacy, then he will buy. The government don't care whether it works or not. There is a company want to make money, it has to do some efficacy data. So the the whole thing is the efficacy, the quality, the technology, the responsibility of the industry, not the government. Government controls the quality because it is a bad bug, deleterious, it causes toxin, at least a few things. All these things came from the soil. I do not know, sir. These regulations, I think with so many bodies are working in it, but India is becoming tougher. China is much better than our India. I'm not blaming India, but they're working on it. They have a new draft coming up. I think there's several freebies they're introducing here. Forget scientists. We need an industry behind our science. It's a big companies buying other companies. You see the DuPont taking tax on biosciences. Well ago, the Italian company bought Dr. Reddy C Biotech from Hyderabad. He sold and he is happy with it, and that's why he started a new company, what you call bioaesthetics. Valent, they bought this Mycorrhizal, Arista, they bought this, Bayer, Profita, FMC, K, Monsanto, Agridis. So now these chemical guys buying the technology, small companies, because they have technology and these guys have money. With this venture, with this joining together, I think with our microbials and the biological, biofertilizers, whatever you may call, they have a lot of feature for them. And collaboration, sometimes they may not buy each other, they're collaborating. Sometimes a scientist may not talk to other scientists. This way, he confidently does his research, wrap it up and publish whatever paper he can. But Now the company realized, hey, don't need to hide the technology, and they need to collaborate. You guys see all these companies collaborating, other companies, because every company has the individual technology. My best friends I have in Valent and Monsanto and of course Novozyme, Maroon. A lot of my friends, I think they're talking each other. A lot of them, I know a lot of the CEOs and directors from these companies. Any of us, AC to PGP, that's why I mentioned Asian to PGP, are always put together these guys with our fellow scientists. If they have a technology to sign MOUs, if they want to market. So these are regulations. I already talked about it. All these guys, industry bodies, and whatever parliament, the legislation, local NGOs, the commission, scientific societies, and professional societies. We need to all have to work together like this, not one body. Few slides. Let's push this thing. Our future is bright for the biocontrol industry. Is essential part of IPM. The biocontrol industry will continue to grow. The manufacturers are also continue to grow. Opportunity is rising. Knowledge is increasing. And the sustainability is there out there, my friends, in near future. I'm looking forward that. Expected, I mentioned earlier, to reach at least $10 billion in near future from this market, from these biologicals. The same slide showing it goes to increase at this rate of 20% from now on. Just touch this virus stuff. Just I need only one virus. We know plant viruses, at least some of us, some virologists, some plant pathologists. We know what they cause as disease in plants. These media guys, you may be a crazy media, good media, national media, international media. Some people, I borrowed this slide from one of our group, WhatsApp group. Animal viruses. It's okay. It causes whatever they're supposed to do. Some guy calling, infecting tomatoes in Maharashtra, someone called Tiranga virus. The Tiranga virus will be causing something in humans. Anyway, this is another joke.
Yeah.
This is a structure of a plant virus. This is the COVID-19. I'm not going to say anything. It's a beautiful picture, but deadly stuff. So we're all wearing masks, staying home, listening in the microphones, through microphones, unfortunately. But only one. Several millions of people lost jobs. People hunger. There's a scarcity of food, particularly minority people, any country, particularly minorities. That's called vulnerable. And mainly women, they got affected. Prior to this, in the world, 820 million people from hunger, 700 million people living below poverty line. But with this COVID, right now, 100 million people needed humanitarian assistance. Unfortunately, if we do not follow this regulation, whatever country imposed on us, we need to follow for us to live safe and healthy life. Okay, if this is since it's a university, I would like to attend Dr. Sharmaji, your students, your program, this agricultural stuff, sustainable, it has to start from high school. Yeah, from high school. Sharmaji, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you have to start from the school level, pre-university, then undergraduate, then slowly to graduate. Of course, new faculty need by postdocing or advanced training. And these have to start in a college, in a school, college, university, master, PhD levels to do good for the society, good for economy, and good for the environment. I think 5 more slides. And I call them share knowledge, don't hide. Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education. SHARE is one of the best organizations in the United States. They share freely, non-profitably, and that's why this science is going here tremendously. But again, I call the students learning sustainable students and for sustainable integrated farm management. I think some people are looking. Having said, oh yeah, biofertilizer, biofungicide, PGPR, micronutrient, bio-based, all kind of buzzwords. Hey, I've done research, published this much, books and this. I do my backyard agriculture using organically, everything organically, what we needed. Just showing this is my traditional greenhouse, backyard greenhouse. I go all kind of veggies and also individually. Also, I tried my best, import bananas, acclimatized to this weather, and they're growing very well, but no fruiting yet. I got the eucalyptus in my backyard, at least for smell purpose. I love it. It's growing because I took last year the inside home, brought outside, inside, all kind of stuff. All growing organically. Compost, cow manure, horse manure, all kind of stuff. I throw some my own PGPRs into it, compost it, use it. No chemical, no spray, no insect, except neem oil, neem product, soapy waters. My roses are beautiful, and also I have some apples and pears and some pomegranate. I think my veggies are beautiful. My garden, lovely right now, is beautiful. Organically. I want to use my own seed because if I don't know how to grow, what's the point of publishing? What is the point of giving lectures? I need to prove myself. Yeah. So I've been doing that for the last 15 years. I'm not new. My curry leaves. We have beautiful fresh curry leaves in my home, at my backyard. Beans are coming up. What do you call this bira, sorakaya, what do you call Chinese squash, or what do you call kakara, what do you call bitter gourd, and my coriander and my sunflower coming up, my spices. My wife loves, of course, we all love the spices. All this Indian, all mint and oregano and basil, zucchini, and my chili. I love my Andhra chili. I'm from Andhra Pradesh, so I'm growing that. And my gongura, I don't know what you call in Andhra is gongura, cannabinus.
Yeah, tarabina, yeah.
We call Andhra Mata, Andhra spinach, beautiful spinach. And they're going very well. Sir, what happened? At the end, this is a concluding slide, bio-based technologies for global food security. We need a revolution, green revolution, ecological intensification, innovation, inclusion, incentives by the government or by the universities or by the industry. Without that, we cannot reverse innovation. We need to have engineering, reverse innovations. I still love my traditional agricultural, my books. Ultimately, I thank you all, everyone, particularly Sharma ji and your university to hosting me today. And I have to say exactly what time is, what is time, sir? 1 hour, 20 minutes. So you guys took 20 minutes. My seminar is 1 hour. Here I have to say a few buzzwords and thanks and salutes. Of course, I salute our mother country, India. I have to show, of course, for my bread and butter, I'm a natural citizen. I have to salute my country. I have to bless our Asian PGPR society, taking all of us to wherever needed. for sharing knowledge. If some Tamil people, Vanakkam, Vanakkam, Namaskar. Hindi speaking, Namaskar. This is Telugu, but the Telugu people also here in the thank you all. What I want to, God has to bless all these societies, my Asian PGPR society and the universities hosting me, and to give us Navaratna Thali, just like a Gujarat Thali, Andhra Thali. I would love to have a healthy, organically grown thali, to have a good dinner, good lunch, but it has to be healthy, less calories, less carbs, chemical free. How? We need to work. I mentioned the digitalized feature form. If it is a digitalized feature form, implements all the available technologies. I think Equistat is doing. I mentioned the Reliance. And I don't want to say, but from what you call Patanjali group approached me too. They're also going into this organically grown food produced, export everywhere in frozen samosa, frozen pakora, sambar, idli, vada. I mean, we have right now, but they're not organic. Eventually, organically grown, packaged Indian food will be available in near future everywhere. Dr. Desai, just seeing you, the one of my best friends from Hyderabad, Desai helped me in this Asian PGPR society in the first meeting in Hyderabad. Right now, Telangana is, I just see him, his picture. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much. And thank you very much. And God bless all of us. God bless Sage University, all the participants. Take care, stay home safe. Have a rest of the weekend. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Professor Reddy. Thank you, Professor Reddy. Can you remove this share screen?
Remove the share, yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you very much. So I would like to thank you from the family, the Sage family, on the behalf of that. So
extended family, yeah.
So
my extended family.
Absolutely, very true. Your extended family for sparing the time, and I think we can imagine the time at US. So you have taken the pain to address the audience, and I am very much thankful to the audience, those who have spared the time to interact with us and for their patient hearing. If you permit me, I can put some queries from the audience because hardly we are having almost 10 minutes to wind up this.
Yes, yes.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. One participant, Ritas, is having some kind of a question. Sir, if we work out a formulation or a product in, say, in India, will it work in, say, Australia?
It is not a formulation. First, the product has to be efficacious. The formulation is the inert carrier, right? You're talking about the product, right? Bacterial-based product in a specific formulation. You cannot say you have to test in that country, sir. So if I have it from the United States, Dr. K.R. Reddy say, his product in Hyderabad, it may not work for me.
Yeah.
But theoretically, it's supposed to work. My temperature is different. My outside is different. We have a big heavy rain season. Hyderabad is no rain, or sometimes heavy rain, no rain at all. So he has to test. So don't generalize. Even from Hyderabad product, I don't think so it will work in Gujarat or work in Punjab or Kashmir or in my one Andhra Pradesh. Every soil system is different. But before the release, if we release test Hyderabad, Gujarat, Ahmedabad, Indore, Madhya, Uttar Pradesh, Kasi, Gaya, whatever you call, so they have to test at least locally, at least 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, get the data. If they're confident, you want to sell to Indonesia, you want to sell me here in Alabama, I need to test at least locally before I give endorsement. Yes.
Sir, another question is from my colleague, Mr. Lokesh Avale. He is asking, in the farmer's point of view, which will be the most effective control measure against disease via fungicides or the fungicides?
Most effective?
Most effective control measure, whether it should be in a biological origin or the traditional origin in the form of the chemical substances, whatever we formulate in the industries.
Yeah. That's a good question. Everybody knows a specific fungicide definitely has a good efficacy, right?
Yeah.
But we're moving to away from chemical-based, fungicide-based product. I cannot say one biological product can do the same thing what chemical does. But the revolution, biologically based technology. Biologically based technology means that product, they're combining, it may be a cocktail-based consortium with a macro micronutrients-based formulation. Or sometime now they're also combining low dose of fungicides, very low dose to be compatible with this biofungicide. They're packaging together in a package, or you deliver a low dose on one side on a seed, on the root system, deliver on the other side a biologically based product. I am convinced in a lab, in a greenhouse, for publication, for research, PhD, dissertation, OIAD is working beautifully against rhizoctonia, pythium, fusarium. In a massive agricultural production, we need to be very careful. I think carrier formulation is important. Not only formulation, shelf life, the package and the delivery system, how that the particular farmer is handling that product. You know, you cannot put your product in a trunk in our car and going in what is that right now, 42, 45 in Hyderabad temperature. It will die. Anything will die.
Yeah.
So there are several factors. So I think KRKD, these people, they're marketing their products. If I market, say right now, I'm not marketing anything. My product, my industry is marketing. That is their responsibility.
Yeah.
So that's why scientists always have to have an industry all the time from the beginning. We want to promote a product, industry health. And at the same time, the regulatory body, you need to have a guy from New Delhi, not after 5 years, oh, give me a permit, give me a registration. That guy has to know, what are you doing? Anyway.
Sir, actually, the first question was asked by the Dr. Rita Sompal, Siliguri. So she's from Siliguri. Actually, the information was missing earlier. So now the next question is from the participant, Akhilesh Kumar. The question is, Indian farming community is turning on crossroad. He is confused, or the farming community is confused among the traditional farming, organic farming, ZBNF, and intensive farming. Which approach is more profitable since scientific data limited to yield only, but missing economical data, marketing issues? He want to know your opinion on this issue.
I think I know him. Akhilesh Kumar, I know.
Karnal.
I know him. Hey, you need to apply for a grant from the Prime Minister Modi slogan. There's I was told a lot of funds. I know the economic data.
Yeah, sorry.
There's a lot of the economy data is not available because this is just a new one. You know, of course, you saw one of the Nobel laureate scientists in India and several people doing that. But I believe in it. But I do not have any financial return on the investment. I call return on the investment. And still is only a small field of trials, research is working on, but I believe in it. I think Modi is behind it. I think Bill Gates and Modi talks all the time on this. And Bill Gates, you all know Bill Gates, Microsoft, and now the Reliance coming, this new platform, and the Patanjali people coming into that. Your Uttar Pradesh chief minister is more interested in organic and zero budget. You know, whatever the budget, I don't know, zero budget. You cannot have a single penny and get $10. I don't know who coined the zero.
Yeah.
I don't know who is speaking. But the natural farming, I believe in a natural farming. I like my cow manure, my buffalo manure, my horse manure, my chicken manure, this kind of stuff, and my neem stuff and neem oil, all this kind of stuff. Your own compost. I think the natural farming, I believe in it, but again, is not that popular. Scientists like you guys and participants like that, all of us together, we'll talk about it. We have a one-day session in Bhopal if we're coming for this
Actually,
sixth.
I think very true. This is never ending, and I think sorry for interrupting you. We can have a
No, that's fine. That's
elaborated
fine.
session, and I think
Akhilesh,
when you are at the midnight
Akhilesh has his own
in the US.
company, right?
Pardon?
Akhilesh, he has his own company.
Pardon, sir? Sorry.
The guy asked a question. He has his own company. He's a
Maybe.
consultant, right?
Yeah. It may be.
I know him.
Sir, quickly, just I want to share another question, and that will be the last question because we are running short of time, and I think you are also tired because at the US you are at the
No, it is common.
midnight
It is common
almost.
for him. Yeah, it is
So
past
the last question is:
1
will
a.m.
USA regulation enable import and use of microbial formulation
From India?
made in India, or it restricted because of biosecurity issues? This has been asked by the Dr. P.K. Chakravarti, member ASRB New
Yeah,
Delhi,
I
as well as the
know.
former ADG
Yeah.
ICAR.
Yes, sir. He's my best friend. Don't tell me. I know him very well.
Yes. He's very
Dr.
famous.
Chakrabarti, sir, when you are in that government, you have to allow American product to come to India first, right? Then we allow your product to come United States. The simple two-way, as long as the import and export permit, any product crisscross anywhere in globally. As long as you have to get the export import permit. But now industry have links. They can easily ship. China, a lot of Chinese products coming to Hyderabad, Telangana, or Gujarat. My friend from Gujarat, the Eco Biotechnology, my friend is there. I mean, he's sending all his Indian product to United States. They're testing here. Bhavesh Patel, Eco Technology Group from Gujarat, Bhavesh Patel. So I see their products. I think some of the American products, I think they are also testing in India. A simple thing, you have to fill up one thing, export, import, the guy give a stamp, you can send anything you want, but not bomb, not COVID-19.
Thank you, sir. I think now hardly 2 minutes are left. So I want to say something. Our university is flourishing under the dynamic leadership of Engineer Sanjeev Agrawal, sir. He is the Chancellor of the SACE University, as well as under the guidance of Honorable Pro-Chancellor, sir, Dr. Prashant Jain, sir, and the respected ED madams. Sir, we are catering the need by providing the education in the different dimensions in the different fields. So I think with that, I would like to thank Professor Reddy for sparing the time to igniting the young minds, those who are the students, as well as those who are the teachers at the earlier stage. Even those who are in the industry, they will get a kind of such kind of information that will be helpful for them in the future also. I'm very much thankful to the participants, those who have joined, those who have patiently heard the things which you have discussed. I am very much thankful to my team members, those who have given their hard work to make the successful event. Thank you very much, sir, for spending the time, Professor Reddy.
Sharmaji, last one word. I just received this morning an email from your registrar of your university asking me to act as a board of studies director in your university.
Yes.
Tell him that I will reply to him shortly. Okay.
Sir, he's sitting in front of me. If you want to talk, he can talk with you.
No. This is personal, and but thank you for a Vice Chancellor and your registrar and all the faculties from your campus. One more last thing. Since I may be coming, if God permits, I may be coming to Bhopal if there is a conference. But I have given several reference letters for many of the young prospective students. Wherever they want to go, they can use me as a reference.
Thank you.
If they need to go to masters or PhDs, we have helped hundreds and thousands so far in my life.
So nice of you.
Only prospective students. This is a message for the students.
Yeah.
Don't ask me PDF, don't ask me this and that. For students, I love our students. You guys have to come out, do some good education wherever you want to go.
Thank you
Across
very much, sir.
Asia or United States, Canada, or anywhere.
Yeah.
Someday it may work. That's why our society is there to help our students.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you very
all.
much, sir. Thank you again. And it will be the pleasure for us. Then you will be having with us as an advisory board member. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Good
very
night.
much. Good day.
Good mid morning. Good morning to
For
you
good
all.
day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.